Watch your back, Snake Oiler. I'm about to watch and explain that old Speed Racer movie so I can explode your butthole later on the track.
Good luck. I spiked your apple juice with mushroom drugs. And I also wear like 4 pairs of pants.
Those are equally surprising to me. I'm gonna try anyway.
Oh, production logos, but like filtered through LSD, man. Radical. Also, intercuttings between a nervous dude at a locker and him erasing shit on his not actually a car test as a child. The only thing that this boy literally named
Speed Racer.
His name is actually Speed.
Shh, wait. The only thing that this boy, literally named Speed Racer, loves is cars and the racing of them.
Your son seems to be interested in only one thing.
Gobbling up this track.
And you have to wonder how much his name influenced him. Like, I often wonder if there's a connection between Dave's real name, Pigeon Strangler, and his weekend visits to the park.
What pigeon?
What are you doing?
Gobbling up this
Pigeon?
Sorry.
But anyway, so it's Speed in the adrenaline junkie kind of way, not junkie or StarCraft junkie kind of way.
Kind of look like Kerrigan from StarCraft.
That's right.
He loves cars so much, he spends most of his school days imagining and coming in the back of the room. Dave did the same thing, but he wasn't thinking about cars.
Pigeon?
Oh, wait, no, I forgot about the Miata sisters from Cars and their flashing headlights. Dave loved that film.
That's right.
Speed's dad makes cars and his brother Rex races them, though Rex is unfortunately not the answer to the not car test. And hopefully that's not who Speed is imagining while he races, you know? And yet this scene of him learning to race with his brother is not exactly making me think otherwise.
Feel that shimmy?
I won't say anything. Nobody will know.
Also, his brother appears dead, probably because his name is literally Rex.
Oh, it's wreck. Oh.
And also, I assume because his main piece of racing advice is to
Close your eyes.
Again, this feels more like creepy youth pastor advice than something you can use for racing.
Close your eyes. Feel that shimmy?
Let's pray.
But I'm just a doctor, and if I could offer you one crucial piece of car-related advice...
That's right.
Don't your car!
Okay, so now it's present time or whatever, and Speed's racing. And man, this has Super Mario Kart / Rocket League vibes, and it is overwhelming.
He's coming hard. It's gonna be close.
Also, they appear to mostly only drift and spin. Is this how wheels work in the future? Also, the car can jump, and if you crash, you turn into a bubble?
She came down in a bubble, dog!
Wait, does any of this make any sense, Dave? I feel like I'm... Do you smell toast? At no point does a car drive in a straight line. They're like... Maybe I was wrong about the whole not junkie thing. Do you want to play StarCraft later when you come back from the park?
Has no one here heard of Kerrigan from StarCraft?
Do you even get that joke? You know the Koreans are all taking Speed. That's why they always beat me, I assume. When I play StarCraft. And they like crush me in like 30 seconds with a Zerg rush. And I'm like, what the heck? I just started. I have like one SCV going. And they're like, it's because they're taking Speed. It's the only way to explain it.
That's right.
Speaking of Mario Kart, Speed is clearly racing a ghost of Dead Rex, just like how in Mario Kart you can race ghosts of when you used to be good at video games, before you got married and had 3 kids and started your own business and realized if people don't sign up for your Patreon, you're gonna have to run over Dave and serve his meat to your family. You know, adult things. It's just hard to focus on video games these days. My family's so hungry and Dave is so plump.
I keep feeding him Subway.
Just in case. I probably should just feed my kids directly. It's inefficient to feed you in case I need to feed you to my kids, but
This is gonna be huge.
anyway, Speed lets the ghost win because then he doesn't, break Rex's record, and that's the nice thing to do for your probably dead brother. If I had a dead brother, I would let him win in Mario Kart. You don't want to drive your brother off the leaderboard or whatever.
Oh, that's true.
I knew Rex Racer. And if he's up there somewhere watching this race, you can bet your ass.
He's pissed. He's pissed.
Now he's a child again, and there are some mean girls that use a hard R word.
And you would believe
But are quickly beat up by a girl named Trixie, who sure has the hots for Speed.
Hubba.
Speed brings her to meet his dad, John Goodmario, who is like, nice, get it, son. And then they all, together as a family, witness an attempted murder of their father by a mail bomb. But they're like car racing, am I right? This world is crazy.
cool beans.
Rex leaves later on because remember they're kids at this point and is like, Speed, people are going to say things about me, but they're not true. And then he leaves and the aforementioned people are like,
Rex Racer is one of the dirtiest drivers in the world.
And he's also a sellout. And also he's maybe being paid by criminals. And he doesn't even wash his hands after he uses the bathroom. And also he exploded.
How could this happen? This is terrible.
You can bet your ass.
But don't believe those things, Speed. Or you, the audience.
I hope you never believe it.
Also, there's another younger brother named Spritle. And an even younger ape brother named Chim Chim. Which kind of sounds like a slur for chimps.
I'm gonna send that guy some Chim Chim cookies.
Also, there's this dude named Sparky. He helps. He's good at barbecues, probably.
The virtuoso display of talent.
He's Australian. I actually don't know why he's here. Anyway, adult-ish now Speed Racer is great at racing.
In spirit, anyway.
And everybody's like, what team will he sign up to race with? And or for? And it's an earthquake!
Calm down.
Oh no, it's just a rich man with a loud flying vehicle bringing gifts of flowers and cigars and weird-ass opinions.
Pancakes. I love.
Pancake. Oh, I just want to stick my face all over it.
He's here trying to sponsor Mr. Speed. He could still race for his dad, but he'd be sponsored by Royalton Industries, which basically builds real fast cars real fast and trains drivers real good.
Will to win is nothing without the will to prepare.
And I'll tell you what, the CG combined with this hyperactive animation style is enough to loosen one's bowels. And also, they can loosen your muscles.
Personal chef and masseurs available 24/7.
And though Deshaun Watson already signed up during that cutaway, Speed is still a little unsure. He's a little too full of integrity, as it were. And possibly amphetamines, as again, this world makes a little more sense if he's a professional gamer.
Sweet!
Speed drives to a hookup spot with Trixie to discuss the many feelings he's having in his pants.
You know I am.
And then they start sexy flirting. And let me say this, Trixie looks exactly like Christina Ricci, and I personally am starting to feel a bit of that shimmy that Rex was talking about, you know what I mean?
Feel that shimmy?
I'm talking about my penis!
But unfortunately, so are his two stupid brothers who are hiding in the trunk.
Oh God, I'm gonna hurl.
And they would have learned a lot of valuable life lessons if they hadn't accidentally made a noise, but...
Wait!
Speed breaks this news to Mr. Royalton about him not wanting to get sponsored. Not that he almost hooked up with Christina Ricci, which is what I would be telling everybody about. And Speed does this with an actually pretty decent monologue about sports and family.
All of a sudden, Pop started screaming.
And as a dad, these kind of things always get to me more than they used to. I hope one day that my son and I will also watch, what? It looks like people on Twitch playing Mario Kart while I, myself, cosplay as Mario.
It's way more important than that.
Royalton takes this news poorly.
I'm going to pretend I didn't hear that load of sickening schmaltz.
He responds with an even better monologue about how this whole racing league was invented by rich white guys who rig the results every year specifically because of how it'll affect their stocks. Basically, there never has and never will be any real sport to racing. And in fact, it's much closer to what we think of as the WWE. If stock prices were affected by whether The Rock or John Cena punched each other harder in their big bald penis.
And then that happens.
What? Short the stock, long the stock.
Although, maybe that does happen. I don't know. I read books, okay? I don't watch wrestling. I'm well read.
That's what racing is about. It has nothing to do with cars or drivers. All that matters is John Cena.
Short the stock.
But let me tell you, there are moments like this throughout the movie that are actually pretty great and poignant and interesting, and they are constantly getting undercut by this chubby child and his literal monkey friend conspiring to steal candy and commit vehicular homicide and shit.
Takes up.
Just let the movie. It's always like, and it's all been rigged, and we're destroying the world. It's like, ooh. It's like a kid like shoving candy in his asshole, and you're like, wait.
You understand?
I just care too much about my dad.
I found these two sneaking around the restricted area.
Fingers and butts, dicks and butts.
Now we're at Speed's first post-rejection race that is presented as if it's a hypothetical threat by Royalton, but does actually happen.
You won't win, you won't place.
You won't get no dessert.
And hey, here's another big issue I have with this movie. They make a big deal about Rex being a dirty driver, but is all of this not dirty? Should you not be disqualified forever for grappling, hooking an opponent? Do they check these cars? I literally do not know.
But the fans love it, don't they?
Speed's daddy then gets sued by Royalton for bullshit reasons just to make him sad, because that's what rich people do when they want to make poor people sad. And Speed's mom is like,
I go to the races to watch you make art.
Bullshit. Bullshit. Derivative.
And man, if there was ever a time to tell creatives and executives that art isn't about money, that would be a great time. Also join my Patreon. The rest of the world's artists don't need money, but I do. I'm the only artist to ever have 3 children. I'm also considering adopting a candy-addicted champ to shove stickers up his asshole just to keep you engaged. I know my videos have been criticized for being a little slow on the edit. Why don't you slur your words more and use some cutaways for once? I hear you. I'm listening.
And it's beautiful.
Elsewhere, there's a dude getting... and there are piranhas around, which would suck to be bit by, and this dude's gonna die, probably, but oh no! They're attacked! And okay, finally, something to remind me that these movies were directed by the Matrix directors. It's a pretty cool fight scene, actually. You probably shouldn't think too hard about why everybody's dressed up like Western villains from the early 1900s and shooting Tommy guns through little truck holes covered by paintings. I just like when the things go pew, 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 pew. They throw the slap dude out the back, and he's picked up by the mysterious masked super driver who was attacking the truck. And masked guy is like, you can't take on the cartel alone, my slapped guy. You need to work with me. And the slap guy is like, no, I don't want to. Also, my last name is Toga-Khan. I'm Little Boy Toga-Khan of the Toga-Khan family name and dynasty and or whatever. And the masked guy, or Racer X as he's known, is like, okay.
Call this number.
If you change your mind.
I'll see you at Fuji.
Anyway, then Racer X and an anti-corruption guy show up at the Racer house. And firstly, God, I wish they just cut all these kids' scenes. But secondly, they attempt to recruit Speed to basically partner with Baby Boy Toga-Khan because he has a bunch of files that could expose Royalton's corruption, but Baby Boy Toga-Khan doesn't want to release them unless they can win a race that raises up the Toga-Khan family stock, so that a takeover from Royalton would be too financially difficult, I guess.
Of course.
Now, we'll get into this more later, but surely exposing Royalton's corruption would also make it much more difficult for him to purchase another company? Remember, this is a fictional world, and apparently the government actually cares about things like corporate corruption and financial fraud. It's not a plot hole, but it is a big oversight on all the parts of the other characters, as we'll learn later.
What?
Regardless, Speed is like, well, we're not going to qualify for the Grand Prix because I got exploded at the last race thanks to dirty hooks. And there are no more qualifying events left, but the anti-corruption guy is like, no, there are no more track-based qualifying events left. There's one super dangerous cross-country race.
Casa Cristo.
What?
You know, the one where your brother died, that you could do. And John Good Mario is like, no!
Absolutely not.
No way! Screw that! No!
I'm sorry, Inspector, but I've already lost one son to that death trap. I won't lose another.
Those are too dangerous! But nobody cares what Mario thinks. And Speed says, sure, sounds good.
I guess we're going skiing.
Skiing's not your sport.
Anything to take down Royalton.
Of course.
But anyway, everybody at this super dangerous race is almost certainly attempting to kill them because the rules are more like guidelines. And also basically every racer has been given money to kill them. But it's cool because they add a ton of defensive measures to Speed's car.
So we've modified the Mach 5 to try to counter their attacks.
Which, aren't those legal? What is this freaking sport? Can a dog drive a car?
This race is full of cheaters.
Is this a new Air Bud sequel, but with cars?
Ain't no rules in the dog camp.
Murder people.
Is this my comeuppance for always making fun of movies that over-explain their rules? Whatever, now they're racing, and the first defensive measure works, and Speed's got magic fix-it tires, and truly, it is insane what's being deployed openly in front of God and everybody. Beehive catapults? And like maces, like medieval weapons. I'll admit, I do actually enjoy the race scenes now that I'm used to the janky weirdness of it all, but I wish somebody would just be like, okay, to be clear, using beehives is not okay.
Is that a crime now?
And there will be consequences, but it's worth the risk for Speed because what he's doing is overwhelmingly detrimental to all the rich people fixing these races.
I mean, it sounds like a case of like they first said no guns. You didn't say no beehive catapult.
Yeah. He's right. Ain't no rules in
bees.
I really want to now become a NASCAR driver that shoots bees at everybody. And I'm like, literally tell me where I cannot shoot bees. It doesn't say it. That's how Dale Earnhardt died. The first meeting of NASCAR, they're like, okay, here are the rules. We go, whoever goes the fastest win. No snakes. It's like,
what? No snakes?
I feel like that's obvious. You're like, it's not. If you don't write it in there, I'm throwing snakes.
Have any of these drivers read the rule book?
And yet, despite their fancy driving and decked out cars, the heroes don't actually win the first leg of the race.
Relax.
But still, Royalton isn't taking any chances. So A, he orders a hit on them again, I guess. And B, he covers the phone's transmitter so nobody can hear his schemes.
If they do, I assure you it'll be a very costly mistake for everyone.
You're breaking up, friend. I can't.
Masterful gambit, sir. Oh, Speed's family shows up. And his dad is like, I'm gonna help you despite my reservations. First, one of the ninjas drips some liquid in baby boy Toga Khan's mouth, while Racer X kicks his ninja's ass. In a legitimately pretty cool fight. And then Speed and his entire family kick another ninja's ass. In a legitimately pretty stupid as shit fight.
Was that a ninja?
Yes.
More like a nanja.
No! More like a nanja. Come on, look what we wrote! And then it gets through all the other writers, all the way through production, all the way to the script. Christina Ricci reads it in the table read and is like, that's funny. More like a nanja.
Editor almost dies of laughter.
Nanja.
As it turns out, the poison didn't kill baby boy Toga Khan because maybe he's built up a resistance to iocane powder.
I'll be fine by morning.
Or maybe it's because, like PBR, all it really does to him is make him a little too shitty to drive, so he pretends to be his sister. For reasons I don't fully understand. Maybe he just wanted to explore a different side of himself for a bit. I mean, I guess they knew that the cartel would come after her, but also why would they? How does that help them buy the company and or win the race? Taking out the sister? I don't know. And then Trixie pretends to be baby boy Toga Khan.
It's too dangerous for me, but not for you, right?
Which would be a good thing I'm not driving near her because I'd be like
Pounding one another, bumper to bumper, rail to rail.
I wouldn't even apologize. We're making our own unprofitable art over here. Oh yeah! Anyway, they race and do things that don't feel legal.
I thought they couldn't do that.
And then they stop in a camera-free area to swap Trixie out for baby boy Toga Khan.
Thank you so much. It was a blast.
Pounding one another. Let's go!
Because I guess that's the one thing that's too dirty for TV. But also, I don't understand how that makes for a good plan. I guess he only needed an extra 15 minutes to get his racing feet under him. Then a bunch of other cartel guys or whatever show up. And there's an extremely long, goofy-ass fight. Until, yeah, the good guys win. And they start racing again, and they end up inside the caves where Rex exploded, and I will say, it does look pretty cool. This is a very cool looking scene. And Speed gets knocked off the edge, and main bad guy driver Snake says exactly what I say whenever I close Dave's sock drawer.
Bye-bye, little turd.
Because I poop in Dave's sock drawer, and I'm not gonna apologize for it either. But anyway, everything's fine, because Speed just drives right back up the mountain. And even though Snake flat out pulls out a pistol, which isn't just cheating, but that's like a normal crime. You can't shoot people.
I thought they couldn't do that.
I think we're supposed to assume that this, he's getting paid to do it. But like, it's on camera. You're going to jail forever. What are you going to do with your money?
Right to jail.
Or on death row, probably. It's fine because Speed explodes him with his superior driving skills, and they win the whole thing. Except, oh no, this was all just a stock play for baby Toga Khan. And though Royalton has to pay more, he still purchases the Toga Khan family company, whatever.
Get me Tetsuya Toga Khan.
Which is important because they're the only company that makes some special tech that Royalton uses in his car. And the idea is that, in the Grand Prix, the upcoming Grand Prix, if one of Royalton's fancy cars wins, then everybody's going to be like, man, I really want that transponder tech in my car. And then he'll have a monopoly. Everything is a stock play, baby.
I have the paperwork drawn up.
For example, my channel is a stock play. I've already purchased Dave so that when he wins the world's dipshit camera guy competition, I'll have a monopoly. A Dave-opoly. You want a dipshit Dave? You gotta go through me.
The price is 78 a share. That's outrageous.
That's the best business joke I can come up with because I don't know shit about business.
You have done very well.
Which is why I'm here and constantly begging for free money.
That's right.
The point is, Baby Toka-Con, he ain't giving up any files. He may not have even had any files in the first place, so it seems like the end of the metaphorical road. And Speed and Racer X hang out and they share a moment, and Speed is like, we shimmy so good together.
Felt like we've been doing it for a long time, if you say so.
Are you my brother? And X takes off his mask and is like, no, your brother is dead. And I have an entirely different face than he did. Actually, no. Again, solid emotional moments. Fun races. Just the worst humor ever.
It doesn't matter if racing never changes. What matters is if we let racing change us.
Fighting their way back into the race behind the elect.
I'm just so confused right now.
But oh wait, Sister Toka-Con shows up
Haruko.
and is like, look, my baby brother is actually declining the invitation to the Grand Prix that you guys won because he was only in it for the stocks. But if you present this invitation, technically, there ain't no rules that says a dog can't play basketball or drive a race car or that a speed boy can't race in the Prix.
They must allow you to compete.
And they're like, tight! So they build a new car for the Grand Prix. There's always a twist in a movie where it's like, hey, I bet you didn't know these rules. Well, they do, and they exploited them. And you're like, all right, yeah, cool, great.
I don't believe it. You were listening the whole time?
And like the turd I'm always sneaking into Dave's sock drawer, this car...
Sounds beefy, Pops.
They get the car finished, and Speed airbuds his way to the starting line, which pisses off Royalton, and he puts, I guess, like a third hit out on him?
Holy shit.
He's spending his money at the wrong thing. He should just buy a bomb, or I don't know.
We're installing a spear hook in the GRX.
And from the very beginning, people be screwing with Speed.
A misfire traps Speed Racer, causing a collision.
Uh-oh, look out.
But really, nobody will ever be able to beat him because he's just so damn good at jumping his car. I don't think any other cars jump. That's why he's the best. His car jumps. It's a real advantage for Speed. He does it like 37 times per race to great effect.
Get that weak off my track!
But anyway, he be racing and jumping and the commentary be absolutely shitty and terrible.
Something's going on over there.
And it all comes down to him and a legendary racer named Cannonball.
Uh-oh, look out.
Cannonball! But when Speed starts to kick his ass, Cannonball spear hooks their cars together. Oh no! Now again, this is obviously an illegal move, but what's weird is it also will make Cannonball lose, right? Like he can't finish the race, the whole other car tacked to his ass. He's got me! Maybe Cannonball just doesn't care because he's got good stock options and probably CTE. Or, B madness. He got stung so much.
Nice.
But what's worse is Speed again does a crazy jump, revealing to the camera that he's been hooked. And the commentator's like, oh wow, Cannonball is gonna get kicked out of the Hall of Fame. There's no way they'd be able to hide this anyway, right? Like, when the race ends, Speed should be able to demand that they inspect Cannonball's car, which, as we know, is actively tethered to his car. Regardless, Cannonball threw away his entire legacy on this moment, and that is depressing. Money is bullshit. Sign up for my Patreon.
It's a whole new world, baby.
Also, now I'm surprised they have any drivers in the sport at all, considering if there are actually consequences for dirty driving, there probably wouldn't be any drivers left to, race. All these guys are dirty. Who's gonna race? Anyway, Speed's car dies as a result of the revealing maneuver.
What do I do?
But it's cool because he listens to his girl and he realizes he needs to something fifth gear, and she roars back to life.
Ran a patch to the start of the Bernini converginator. If he puts the car in fifth gear, he can jumpstart the whole thing.
And he wins the race in an insane explosion. And then we quickly learn three things. A, Racer X is Rex, but with really good anime surgery to hide his identity and fight crime better. And B, the winner of these races chugs a big glass of, I hope it's milk.
Don't drink that!
But even if it is, ew. I'm sure it's in the anime or something, but somebody had to sit down and go, Speed Racer wins. He gets to chug milk. And everybody's like, you've done it again.
It's like a got milk ad or something.
Even this movie is a stock play, but for milk? Oh my God! Oh, right. And C, right when we're about to get a hot makeout scene with Trixie, we get one last undercut bullshit cootie joke just to remind me that this movie doesn't want me to enjoy it fully.
Warning. The following image may be unsuitable for the uninoculated or cootie-sensitive viewers.
Fingers and butts, dicks and butts.
Also, Royalton goes to jail to remind us that this movie is not set in the real world. And we get a bunch of credits starring the damned monkey. Chim Chim sucks a Snickers into his asshole so hard he dies. And an original rap about racing.
Do you really think you're better at racing now?
Not really, but I did learn there are no rules and I can go Super Saiyan and explode your butthole!
Nunja would be cool. Like a nun ninja.
Like a... I was gonna say nunchucks. Maybe she has nunchucks too.
A nun ninja with nunchucks.
And then she will fight the Vietnam leprechaun. Eventually, we're just going to take all of our stupid ideas and make one feature-length film that makes trillions of dollars.